Hey y'all, it's Cassandra with Pecan Porch Boutique, bringing you another Tales from the Thrift, y'all. My sister and I went on a mega thrift haul the other day. Check out that video as well. Okay, but for now, we're going to start with project 1. Y'all, I found this cute little wooden seahorse at Goodwill. I think I paid like, $4.79 for him or something like that. But look how cute he is. I'll have to tell y'all the story about my seahorse adventure when I was younger. But first of all, this is just a wooden little seahorse with all the little individual sections. And I think someone had probably, tried to make it cute. They had put these little shells on him. And so I'm just going to pop those off. And then some parts I had to use my razor blade, but because the glue that they stuck them with. But once I got them all off, I'm just going to give him a good sanding, and then I'm going to clean him up and take him outside and spray him with some shellac.
On the road with a couple of tunes in a car for two. Hey darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time. Driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright.
And I probably didn't need the shellac because I'm going to be using DIY paint. This is sea glass. It's a beautiful turquoise color. But I wanted to go ahead and put the shellac on anyway because once you sand this raw kind of wood, it kind of opens up the pores of the wood, and you can get some bleed through. So anyway, I'm going in with DIY's sea glass. This is Debbie's Design Diary, and I am going to be doing actually 3 coats of this sea glass on him for the first round. So a quick story about my seahorse adventure when I was little. So when I was little, and yes, I'm about to date myself, you could order out of the back of magazines. Like, there was no Temu, there was no Amazon. So, we would get magazines, and in the back there would be these little advertisements for different things. Well, I saw a seahorse family, y'all. It was the mom, the dad, and the brother and the sister, and they all looked so happy in the back of that little advertisement. And I thought, oh my gosh. And I told Mom, I said, Mama, I'm going to order these seahorses. And she was like, okay. She probably already knew. I ordered the seahorses, y'all. They came in a little bitty package, and they were like I thought they were seahorse eggs. And I put them in my little fish bowl, and I waited for the family, y'all. And waited and waited and waited. And the family never came. So I never got over that, y'all. I don't know. It probably affects me to this day. And so that's my seahorse story. Anyway, back to this project. I finally got my seahorse, though. At least one of them. So I added on top of those 3 coats of sea glass, I added that mixture. I had this mixture left over from another project. It's a combination, I think, of sandy blonde and liquid sunshine with a little bit of the texture additive in it. So I added that on top, just one layer, and then I'm going to sand that back so that a little bit of that sea glass will show through. So that is what I'm doing here. And yeah, y'all, I did break my sander out in the house, but it was dark and I wanted to get it done. So that's what I'm doing here. And anytime I get a chance, I am always adding a little bit of typography. So here I've broke out the IOD insignia stamp. It's that little mini box stamp. And I'm using those little letters, and I'm going to spell out CU in the C. And I'm going to use those little middle planks of the seahorse to put one word on each of those. And I'm using my StazOn ink in the, I think it's Eden green. Is it Eden green? No, teal blue. And I'm just going to stamp up those letters. I'm even using the little piece of vinyl that came off of that insignia stamp, off of the top of it. And I'm just going to lay my letters out. I'm going to stamp those up, and then I'm going to put one word on each of those little wooden pieces in the middle between his head and tail. And I'm kind of making the letters kind of a little wonky because, you know, I wanted it to kind of look like, you know, waves in the sea, so not really straight. So that is what I am doing here. And yeah, it came out really good. You'll see in just a second.
Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty.
And now it's time to seal this all up. I want to seal in my paint. I want to seal over that ink and get this all sealed up for the next step.
Hey, darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now.
After 2 coats of the DIY liquid patina, letting it dry in between. At this stage of the game, y'all, I figured out that this is not a he, this is a she, and her name is Cecily. So not only have I given her a gender, I have also named her. So because she's a she now, I want to add some florals to her. So I'm just using some of the leftover pieces of IOD's Lost Garden Transfer, and I'm just going to add them all over her. Not too many, because I mean it's not really that big of a space, but I'm just going to add them onto her and give her this kind of a floral look. So if you've never used transfers, that's not a word. If you've never used transfers, they come with their own little transfer stick. You just peel the back off, lay it down. Now I think that transfers go on better on a sealed surface or a slick surface, so I try to always seal first. But you just lay that down there. Once you take that transfer sheet off, pick up that vellum as you rub, and the transfers easily come off. So that is what I'm doing here. I am getting Cecily all prettied up, and then I'm going to give her a little bitty eye from some jewels that came from the dollar store that my sister had. So take a look back, y'all. Cecily was cute, but she was plain, and we wanted to jazz her up a bit. So look at her now. Oh, Cecily, you finally come home. She looks so pretty. What do you guys think?
Come on now and take my hand.
For project number 2, y'all, I have this wooden tote, like a tool tote, I guess, from way back when. And it is my sister's, and I've had it forever, and she has been forever asking me to fix it. And so she's probably going to want it back now. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be working on in this project too. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to make up some molds using IOD's toadstool mold and some of the elements from IOD's, what is that other mold? Oh, from Dewdrop Pond. Yes, Dewdrop Pond. So I'm going to be making up some elements from those 2 molds. I'm going to be using my DOS clay. So here I'm adding some baking powder. I find that DOS clay is a lot more moist than the IOD clay, so it's more stickier. So I kind of over add baking powder. I also over clay for some reason, y'all. And these molds actually come, if you're using resin, they come with kind of how much maybe clay too, but I never use that. I just stuff a whole bunch of clay into the mold until I get it smoothed out enough to get it up to that micro rim, and then I smooth it all down, flip it over, rock it out, and let gravity help me get it out.
Wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday. Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand. Hey, darling, I love it when it's me and you on the road with a couple of tunes in a car for two. Hey, darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time, driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright. Pack our bags and get in that car. Leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty with the wind blowing in your hair.
With my molds all fixed now, I am going to add just a little bit of Tite Bond quick and thick glue, and I'm going to add them onto each side of the box. I'm designating a front of this box by adding the molds, and that little stencil that you see, I've laid it there so I'll know how far over I can go with the molds. And I'm going to, by doing this on one side, I'm kind of designating a front of the box. I won't do it on both sides. So I'm just going to use Tite Bond quick and thick here. I'm laying down my molds. I'm going to get those all on, and I will let those sit overnight, and then I will come back and I will do the stencil.
Baby, don't you understand?
Okay, I forgot to say, y'all, that I did a cheater move on this box. So I used some Rust-Oleum white spray paint to do the inside, and I used some Rust-Oleum black spray paint to do the underside, the bottom of it. I also, before all of that, I went out, I sanded it down a little bit to get some of the splinters off of it, and I gave it a couple of coats of shellac because, as you can see now, I'm going to be using some milk paint. And I mixed up some greens. I think it was Pantry Door, basil, and olive. Oh, I can't remember. But I mixed up some greens, y'all. And let me tell you, so if you're going to be using milk paint, make sure you only mix up enough for your project, because milk paint doesn't keep. It's not like other paints, so it does not keep at all. So I mixed up a whole bunch of this, and I realized that the box was so big that I was going to have to let it dry. So by the time I got back to my milk paint, it had once milk paint starts to not be able to use it anymore, it kind of gets clumpy like some silly putty or something. So I had to actually, before it did that, start using it on some other pieces. So I did get some uses out of it. But if you're going to use milk paint, and this is Sweet Pickins milk paint, make sure you only mix up enough for your project. So here I am now. I've mixed up my milk paint, and I'm just going to start painting it on.
You know we're gonna have a really good time, driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright. Pack our bags and get in that car. Leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday. Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand. out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair.
You can see that on the other end of the front side of my toolbox, I use some of the elements from the Dewdrop Pond mold by IOD. So there is a snail there, a frog, I use that fern, and the little dragonfly.
Take my hand. Hey, darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired.
I had cast the large mushroom mold from that toadstool mold, and then I realized that's too big to go on the front side, so I ended up having to put it on the side, y'all.
See the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car. Leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair.
And so again, y'all, only mix up enough milk paint for your particular project, even if you have to go back and mix more. So I only ended up doing one coat on here, and so what you saw me doing just then was taking my little finger sander and just giving it a little bit more of a scuff. So now I can go in between my molds with my vintage garden stencil, and I'll be using some of DIY's little black dress just to stencil this out. And at first I was thinking, I don't know if I want those little butterflies in it. So that's why I did all of the stencil before I did those little butterflies. But then once I got to the end of the stencil, I thought, well, I can't leave out the butterflies. It's a garden. It's a garden toolbox now, so I have to add the butterflies. So I'm just putting a little bit of the little black dress on my stencil brush and offloading it and just going in and following each letter.
Yeah, the countryside.
Also, y'all, I have had this stencil forever. I got it from a company called Essential Stencils, and you get like a 3-pack whenever you get their stencils. So that is where I got this from, and I've had it for years, and I'm finally using it.
Take my hand.
And now I am taking some various DIY colors and just adding a little bit of color to my mushrooms.
Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday.
I ended up sealing this all off with a couple coats of weather defense, just in case somebody wants to put it back out on maybe their porch. So take a look back, y'all. This is where my sister's toolbox started. And take a look now. Oh, I think it came out so cute. I love that I left some of the wood elements along with the painted part. It came out really cute, I think. And I know she's going to want it back, y'all. All right, let's move on to project number 3. I got this cute little non-working clock for $1, y'all, at the little, kind of like a little Goodwill that we have here in my hometown. The clock didn't work, but I love the shape, and you know, it was only $1, so I got it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna scuff it up. It was really shiny, so I'm just gonna scuff it up using my finger sander and a little bit of sandpaper.
Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in.
After the scuff sand, I gave it a good clean down and a couple coats of shellac. Now I'm going to be using the Roses mold, and this is an older mold. I don't think it's around anymore. And then I'm going to be using that little rope detail from the Classic Elements mold, both molds by IOD. But I found that that big rose mold on that big rose on the roses mold really fit that round area perfectly. So that is what I am going to be doing here, just casting those molds from the roses mold and from the Classic Elements mold. Also, y'all, I guess this is a good time to say that if you want any of these IOD products, or except for the ones like this one that I don't think is around anymore, I don't have it on my website, you can go to my website and check it out and see maybe if there's something there you might like. My website is www.pecanporchboutique.com.
Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand.
I found some of this Pint Art bonding primer in my stash that I surely forgot I had. And I'm going to be using it to cover up this clock face. Now, I probably could have just used some white DIY paint because it sticks to anything, but pretty much anything. But I'm just going to use this bonding primer to cover up the clock face so that I can, and it dries really quickly, so that I can get my mold onto it. Adding a little bit again of the Tight Bond Quick and Thick glue, I'm just going to spread that out over this big rose, and I'm going to apply it to the clock face. And then I am going to take those little beads from the Classic Elements mold, and I'm going to go around the clock face. So just kind of giving it a decorative element. So here's the roses mold. I'm just going to lay it down there, tap it down, and then I'm going to take those little beaded trim pieces from the Classic Elements mold, and I'm going to add the glue, and then I'm going to add it around that roses mold.
Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand. Hey darling, I love it when it's me and you, on the road with a couple of tunes in a car for two. Hey darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time, driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave it.
So although my molds are still kind of wet, I'm going to go ahead and start painting. And I'm going to be once again using Sweet Pickins milk paint, but y'all, this time I learned my lesson. I'm only going to mix up a small amount, and I'm going to be using basil. I'm new to milk paint, so I'm still kind of in that learning curve. But milk paint is a powder paint, and it's supposed to be mixed at a 1-to-1 ratio of powder and water. So, then you stir it up for about 2 minutes. Let it sit to the side. It will thicken up, and then you can come back and use it. So here I am putting on my paint, and the first coat is going to always be really translucent and really kind of thin. But then the next coat picks it up, and then it continues to be more of a good solid color. So here I am. I actually ended up doing 3 coats of this basil onto this clock to get full coverage. And once I got it all on there, Then I also went over the moles and got them all on there. And I actually did get some crackle, y'all. I was like, oh yeah, crackle, look.
Can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around.
All right, y'all, it is time for a quick look back at our $1 clock. There it is, just plain, but still has a cute shape. I added a couple coats of the polyacrylic matte spray and some DIY white wax. Then I kind of topped it all off with a little bit of the brass metallic paste. And I think it turned out so cute. I hope y'all do too. All right, y'all, it is time for my fourth and final project and my third contribution to the season. I got this little tray from a garage sale, and I think I paid like $6 for it. And it has like glass inside. That's what I'm wiping off here. And then it has this caning kind of in between the glass, that I thought it was kind of cute. But then I thought, I have this floral paper. It's called Floral Christmas, and it's made by Marley. And I thought, this little llama, the colors in it would go so good with the mint color of this tray. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to use this llama. I am going to tatter the edges by trimming it off, just pulling off the edges, giving it a tattered edge. And I am going to use some Mod Podge to decoupage it to the inside of this tray. Simple and quick. And then I'm going to put a little hanger on the back so that if someone doesn't want to lay it down on the table, they can hang it on their wall. So here we go, y'all. A simple, quick project.
That we only get one life. I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand.
And I don't retail Made by Marley papers anymore, but you can still find some of the ones that I have left, including this one, on my website if you're interested in getting this cute little llama. Each of the Made by Marley papers come with 3 sheets of decoupage paper in each paper. So in each order, you get 3 of the decoupage papers each. Some of them are coordinating and some of them are, the same, but most are 1 main paper and then 2 extra coordinating papers. So again, if you're interested in anything on my website, you can go visit at www.pecanporchboutique.com. So I'm just going to start laying down my Mod Podge, and I'm just going to work in sections and taking my little plastic wrap and smoothing this down. And I'm just not really pushing hard, but I'm just trying to make sure that I don't have any wrinkles. And then once that first anchor section is laid down, then I'll just continue to lift up my paper and work down in sections.
Leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday. Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand. Hey, darling, I love it when it's me and you on the road with a couple of tunes in a car for 2. Hey, darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time, driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright. Pack our bags and get in that car.
So once I get through laying this all down, I will do 2 more coats of Mod Podge on top of the paper, letting one dry before I add the other. And this project will be finished, y'all. Tell me, y'all, which one did you guys like the best? I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. And I just want to say thank you to all of you guys who have come to support my channel. I really appreciate it. I enjoy doing upcycles. I enjoy hunting for junk. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you watching. And if you wouldn't mind, please leave me a thumbs up if you like the video, maybe a comment. If you know someone who may like my channel, please share that with them. And just maybe you might want to subscribe to my channel. Until then, you guys, don't forget to bud, bloom, and be unique. See you next time. Bye for now.
Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand. Yeah, we only get one life. I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand. Hey, darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty.